in Facebook Live and YouTube. I've just come in from the game. I've still got my suit on. And thanks as always to the sponsors, Galaxy Blinds and Interiors, Advanced Utility Solutions, Cleveland Systems Engineering, Borough Ship Museum, TGM Cars, Cornerstone Business Solutions, and RWTA Richard Wills Training Associates. Today's team, if you don't know, there was two changes. Stefan, Giles, Lenihan, Fry come in for Paddy McNair, and Smith, McGree, Howson, Hackney, and Foz. Foz come in for Ramsey, and Archer, an in-form high-flying Akpom up front. On the bench was Roberts, Mort, Bereza, Ramsey, McNair, Crooks, and Bowler. What game did I see today? I thought after the first 15 minutes, we were huffing and puffing, and then we get into our stride, and we just oozed confidence and class the remaining 70-odd minutes. Passing the movement was accurate, it was precise. We created chances at will, could have scored a few more, but at the end of the day, when you score 4, the goal for Chuba was a great goal. He played it, Ramsey laid it back, and his first touch was immaculate, and his finish was exceptional. And we needed a goal. As I say, it was a nothing game up to that, but what a goal for Chuba. And then Archer scored 2 smashing goals, and then Foz added a 4th. We kept a clean sheet. So 4 goals, clean sheet. Was a tighter game. Well, an easier game than I thought. I thought it would be a tight game, a tight affair. I thought maybe I'd go in it, but once we get that initial goal, that seemed to knock the stuffing out of them, and well done, Borough. I have to say the fans today were brilliant. Fans were terrific. You can see the crowd swelling now because we're playing so well. Everybody's enjoying it. Everybody's getting behind the team. Well, they have done all season. But really, somebody says to me, who's your man of the match? There was too many to mention. I thought everybody was good today. I don't think it was a weak link today. Out the 11 that started, and even the subs came on, contributed. I just thought it was a great game. We were terrific. We're down to 8 games now. We're just behind Sheffield United, who's obviously a game in hand, but 3 points behind. So, really good. It was a good day. I'll go backtrack. Where are we? Norman, shoot. Hi, Norman. Borough best team in league would batter Burnley. Well, we'll find out, Norman. We're coming... we're going to be playing them soon. Borough went over the rainbow, up the Borough, mate. That's right. I took a picture of it on my phone of the rainbow. Borough won and a rainbow just appeared. I just couldn't see the top of it. I seen either side. I took a picture and posted it later. You're right. Players, here we come. Martin J. Bell. Playoffs, I've no doubt will be in the playoffs. No, I really mean that. I say that for months. Playoffs, yes. Top 2, possibly. But if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would say top 6. Top 2 would be a dream. Is there no talk today that Sheffield United could get docked 12 points or something? Did somebody mention that to me today? I was dreaming that. That would be that. Imagine that. They get docked 12 points and we continue to do well and we get promoted. Phil Hislop says, brilliant game. Man of the match for me, McGree. McGree was... Well, I thought everybody was good. Keith Watson says, evening Bernie, cracking one for us. With Sheffield United not playing and those goals put us in better goal difference than them, and cracking draw for Hartlepool. Yeah, Hartlepool drew. Was it 2-2? Bam, the Borough fans up. The Borough for Thailand, Bernie. Bam, the Borough fan in Thailand. I hope you're loving it over there, no doubt you are. What a brilliant performance from start to end. Really pleased for Foz to get the goal. I thought he played well tonight. Who was your man of the match? Yeah, there was somebody raving about Foz in the lounge today. As I say, I don't think there was a weak link. I thought everybody contributed today. Defensively, attacking wise, we moved the ball quicker today. We got the shackles off in midweek where we looked a bit slow and sluggish. Today we were up for it with more vibrant, more positive, shifted the ball quicker, and we got just rewards. Fans were terrible, outsigned by Preston. Martin G. Bell, no, that's a bit harsh. You must be a Preston fan, Martin. No, the Preston fans were very good. I'll give them credit. Preston fans were very lively, despite getting humped 3-0 or 3-0 down. They still stuck behind their team and sang. Do you think the international break has come at the right or wrong time for the Borough? No, Mark, I think when we won today, I think it's a good time to have a break now. Have a wee rest, relax, enjoy what we've done so far. Job's not over yet, but we should sit back and reflect and think, do you know what? We're scoring goals for fun. I mean, Chuba again today, he's confident. He's just absolutely rocketing. Everything he does, his movement, his hold-up play, his passing, just tremendous. But as I say, there wasn't a weak point today. Even the Bernie, great all-round performance by the whole team. I agree with that, Borough fan. Doogie here, great game today. Up the Borough, Magdalene Staples. Yeah, we were very, very good today. Paul Kelly says, evening Bernie, superb win. Archer was class today. He was sharp as attack. Keep him coming, Borough. We're catching Sheffield United. Talking about Sheffield, have you heard the possibility of Sheffield going into administration? I mentioned that earlier. By Thursday, apparently they're struggling to pay players. Well, Paul, if that was the case, I mentioned just before you come on, I heard they're going to get docked something like 12 points, and it means that that position would just be ready for us, wouldn't it? How good would that be? Don't get me wrong, I don't want anybody getting into administration. I've sampled the carry on at Middlesbrough when I first arrived, so I don't wish that upon anybody, seriously. I'd rather get there in merit than somebody struggling financially. Timmy Lake said, I just wish those loan players were ours. We make it going to have to be a massive window to replace those that will go back to the clubs. That's a good point, Timmy. And I've always had a wee issue and problem. I get why we get loans. But when you get loans who flourish and blossom and show that they're good footballers like Ramsey, like Archer, and then the parent club says, oh, we want them back. They're not our players. We give them a short window, but by doing that, I'm sure they're attracting a few teams now. So that's one of the downsides about loan players. Leslie says, of course, we'll be in the playoffs. We're 11 points clear. Take the goal difference into that's worth a point. That's 4 games we would have to lose. We're not going to lose 4 games. What's your opinion on Big Josh? Evening, Bernie. Great all-round performance. Josh Coburn. Cordial, is that Josh Coburn? I take it, but I think he's banging in the goals. I think next year, if we went in the Premier, Josh would be a wee down the rung, the ladder, because we'll have money at our disposal, and we'll be, yeah. So he says yes. Listen. Young Coburn never let himself down when he played. He's still a Middlesbrough player, but he's on loan. But when he played, he never let us down, never let his team down. Scored a few vital goals, scored a goal against Spurs in the Cup. So, but as I say, he's out on loan. The guys we've brought in loan have did the business. We're flying as a team. Everybody's playing well. Where does he fit in next year? If we stay in the Championship, he might come back. If we get in the Premier, I don't think he will be back. I think we'll probably move him on. I think that's the reality. I'm sure Josh isn't a daft kid. He'll look at the whole structure. It's inevitable. If we get in the Premier, we're going to have more money at our disposal. We're going to spend money to bring a better class of player in. Massive win today for the Borough. Daniel Jones, it was that Daniel. Dave Saunders says, absolute brilliant game, Bernie. The passing was unbelievable. Sheffield United will be panicking now looking at the fixtures. Really tough for Sheffield United, and the goals now are important. Thursday is the 12 points deduction if funds are raised. As a 12 point deduction if funds are raised to pay creditors. Yeah, if they're raised. Anton De says, hi Bernie, nice result today. Foz man of the match, absolute workhorse. There's no doubt he's a workhorse and he's quick and direct. But Ramsey has did ever so well since he came in. Wasn't so good against Stoke. Maybe that's the reason he changed it. Do you think that Zach Stefan is starting to improve as a goalkeeper and could still be here next season? My gut instinct is no, that I don't think he'll be here. No matter what league we're in out, he won't be here next year. That's plain and simple. Daz Potter says Sheffield United could go on to administration next week. Up the Borough, we're all jumping up. As I say, I'd rather get there in merit rather than at somebody's expense or going out of business or whatever. Just shows the players want to play for the shirt on the back, unlike earlier in the season before Carrick came in. Don't think him or Woody that praise, but Aaron Danks. Not many say him his way team are now. Woody that praise, but Aaron Danks. Not many more or less talk about him. There is a lad there who I don't know who it is. He was next to Michael Carrick today on the bench. I don't really know who he is. Maybe it's the lad you're talking about. I hope Carrick stops until the next season. He must be tempted by the Premiership clubs. Look, John, that's a good question. I mean, I says in the lounge today, I look at Carrick and I listen to national radio sometime in the morning when I wake up, and I hear them saying, West Ham, if David Moyes goes, Carrick would be the ideal replacement. Crystal Palace have sacked Vieira. he could go there. He's done brilliant. He has done brilliant, but Michael Carrick is still a novice. Don't get me wrong. When you've been an England international and playing for Man United, that's an attraction. You look at Southgate, England international, an attraction. You look at Frank Lampard, international for England, attraction. Great players as well. Wayne Rooney. But Steven Gerrard, all England internationals, all great players, all big names in England, all get top jobs without working the managerial ladder. And look where they are now. The majority, you've got Southgate in the international role, but at club management, he lost his job at Middlesbrough. Never really, well, he never went back into management at club level. Went with the 21s, now he's a full, he's a manager full-time with England. And he did great. But at club level, he huffed and puffed. Gerrard has struggled. Rangers, one trophy in about 9 or 12, whatever it was, came to Aston Villa, gone, puff of smoke. Lampard, was it Derby, was it? Went to Chelsea, gone. Rooney, turbulent. I think he's in America now. So for me, Carrick should stay at Middlesbrough as a novice. Brilliant this year. Let's see how he goes next year. If he does it again, then he's got a bit more confidence, a bit more know-how about his position and roles and what he's up against. And when everything's gone too well, which it has since he came in, it's been amazing. And I love every minute. I love the football. I love the goals. I love the passion. But you learn more about yourself and about your team when you're struggling, when you hit a bad patch. As a goal scorer, you're scoring goals, all of a sudden you hit a dry patch. It's how you get out of that, how you recover. And there's no doubt there'll be pitfalls along the way. But I would obviously want Carrick to stay. He's been magnificent. Along with Woodgate, along with the players. They all look revitalised, refreshed. Just sheer direct and quality that was shown is an unbelievable transition. John Toogood says, bollocks. What was bollocks? Let me go back to your initial. So I hope Carrick stops until next season. He must be tempted by Premiership clubs. So I've just says, so you're saying bollocks, what? The I says he's still a novice. Where's a novice? This is his first season as in a coaching role, not a manager. Yes, that one, as when we were live on Sky Sports last week, they says Aaron Danks sees the game different to Carrick and Woody, and that is what the Borough needed. Well, that's fine. That's good. Yeah, as I say on my bench today, it's brilliant to watch, Bernie. It is. Any Borough fan who's not enjoying the moment or this season, well, since Carrick came in after the opening 11 games, I think it was 11 games in when Wilder got the sack. You don't. If you're not at the gate, I can see the crowd today swelling. You see it swelling. It's getting bigger, and you get your money on. There is people that struggle for finance. Totally get that, but everybody will find money for that last game. The Riverside will be jam-packed. Well, it's sardines. And by the way, today was the last Saturday we play. How sad is that? You know, traditionally over the years it was always a Saturday. Now the Sky and the television and clubs together, they're in bed with each other. They reap all the rewards, and the fan has to go, oh, I booked a hotel that night and now it's changed. Oh, and what about that one? It's changed. A lot of pretense that they're sorry, but they don't care. Money, greed, power, money. That's the way it is. And it's the fans that get shit on. And that's always been the case. You know what I mean? If I was it an Norwich game it's changed, and the last game of the season's changed to the holiday? Yeah. I wouldn't put anything now as a fan, because you don't know, they can just do that, drop your hat. Overnight they can change it. Unbelievable. 40 goal involvements this season on the internet and development signing. Well, I'll bow to your superior knowledge. Is that Cinnamon Toast Crunch? I like the name. That's my dog's name, Cinnamon. Automatic promotion for the Borough, Bernie. Nigel Bain. Nigel, I hope you're right. I'd love to, honestly, I'd love to just get top two, get it over and done with, know where we're going, enjoy our holidays, come back, refreshed, and up for the big fight in the Premier. Be brilliant. Contract says great 3 points in attacking football. The footballs, it was crisp, it was accurate. We very seldom get caught in possession, unlike against Stoke on Tuesday. We moved the ball quicker. As I say, we created chances. It's just enjoyable to watch. Michael Gallagher says, do you think we can nick that second spot today? We were outstanding. Our goal difference is also superior. Well, Michael, of course we can. Of course we can nick it. Sheffield United is under more pressure now. Obviously, they're taking their eye off the league for the cup campaign. The players at Blackburn tomorrow. We're 3 points behind now, but we were, over the last few weeks, if we'd have beat Stoke, the pressure would be not even greater. And it never went to plan. So, one game at a time, just keep doing what we're doing. We're doing very well. The biggest thing is, I go to the games, know we're going to entertain, know who's playing where, know we're going to get goals. We don't rely on one striker. There's a few now to chip in with goals. They're all queuing up for Carrick's signature. Now, do you think he'll be here next season? I really hope he is. 2 more assists for Giles. You would score goals in this team, Bernie. What you mean now, Daniel? Somebody asked me that today, would I score goals in this team? Of course I would. Some of the service, and it's pure football. You know, I like to think under Bruce Rioch we played pure football, but under Carrick we are playing pure, simple, attacking, entertaining football. Remember, a lot of people forgot over the years, football's an entertainment. Fans pay a lot of hard-earned cash to go and be entertained, not to get frustrated and come back. I was going to say kick the cat. You wouldn't kick the cat. I'm an animal lover. You know what I mean? You wouldn't buy the dog an ice cream. You're peeved off. You're frustrated. But now we're coming back for games and we're vibrant and jolly and happy and everything's great. Even in Burnley, great one and a very good performance up the border for Chris Charlton. Scott Wilson says, good, nice 3 points. See you next Friday night up the border. I agree with that as well. I just want to show you this. I promised there was a kids' parents and they said, oh, we get a picture with the kids with a boy and a girl. And I promised I would show this on here because I said to the kid, are you into technology? He went, yeah. I said, watching the Facebook and I'll show you your sister's drawn. She drew that for me today in the legend. Like, how cute and nice is that? Yeah? So, I love you, Bernie. Love from Ellie. There you are. So, hope you're watching Ellie and your brother and your mum and dad. I promised I would do it. So, where are we? John Toogood. Wolves, if relegated, will call back Giles. That's a good one. Oh, yeah. Hey, without a doubt. What? Giles, Ramsey, Archer. They'll all be called back. There's no doubt in that. Unless we put the big bucks on the table and if they don't want them and they're surplus, which they've been this season, it'll take a lot to persuade them. And that means money. Superb performance by the players and Archer was outstanding today, Bernie. Can you disagree, Andrew? As I say, man of the match, I'd have given them all a bottle of champagne today. There wasn't a weak link today. Nobody to moan about, nobody to groan about, nobody to say he never did this or he did that wrong. I thought we were all great today. House in top class again, he was. Ramsey looked leggy on Tuesday night. That is a confidence and calmness about the team. Must stem from manager and Woody. I think you're right, Colin Airy. Well done to the boys today. We carry on to the Premier League, hopefully, Tony Trainer. Yeah, let's not carry. We just keep our powder dry. We're doing brilliant. As I say, we know who's playing where. We know the style and brand of football we're getting. We know we can score goals in any company. We must be excited. Jason Foss says, Chuba's got to be worth 15 million. Well, Chuba came for under 3. Without a doubt. The way he's playing, without a doubt. I mean, I watched him again today. I'll sometimes when the ball's over the far side, I'll look at Chuba's movement. His movement's terrific. He's bust a pace over 10, 15 yards. Amazing. His hold-up play, he's strong, he looks aggressive. Off the park, he's just a lovely guy. Grounded kid. But on the pitch, he looks a handful. And by the way, don't be kidding, he's a big lad. I mean, if you don't know, I've interviewed him another week. And I looked at him and I thought, how big are you? He's about 6'3". I felt like Janino's size next to him. Correct result, Bernie. Good to see Foz getting a goal. Like his attitude. Good for the team. Tommy Walker. Akpom, as little as that. Akpom's goal was a great goal. Archer 2. Who was your man of the match? Even if we failed to make top 2, I think the style from and Fawn will at least get to the playoff final. I have no doubt, Tommy. I really, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would say playoff final. I'm sure we'll be there. We have nothing to fear anybody because we score goals and we're exciting and we've got pace. That's the other thing we've got. We've got pace in the side. I mean, Archer's as sharp as a razor. Ramsey, he's sharp. I know neither were really good at Stoke, but today Archer got 2 goals. Chris Harburn says, good result today, Bernie. In Chuba we trust. Chris Harburn, is it Harburn? Chuba we trust, of course. Now we've got a striker you can hang your hat on. We go to the game thinking, but obviously when you're doing well, like Chuba, there's going to be people watching him. Giles, there's going to be people watching it. Say, yes, you know, he's a Wolves player. Most creative player for Middlesbrough, that Giles. we'll just test the water, see where he goes for here. But it's all ifs and buts and all this talk going here and there. I would only be worried if it was Manchester United for Timmy Leach. Karen Michelle says, I'm proud to support the body. You should. Everybody at the minute should be. Steve Gibson's done. He's appointed him. Some people questioned it. And he's did fantastically with the plaudits. He's made in the shadows and comes out and does his bit. Sure, he does his bit in the training ground. Chris Shaw says, Martin Smith, he has a CPR at times. Bernie Joe Slavin, you're not a novice between the sheets. Tall true. Dear goodness. John Tuger says, Bernie, bollocks was a reply to a comment made by a comment, not yours. Sorry, John, I thought it was me, but I'm cool with that. You can say bollocks to me, I'm not bothered. Rich Tony says, Dale Fry, magnificent today. Great pressure. Tiffs with a big centre forward. James, watch Hartlepool match, very good. Then Borough, up the Borough. Forest got beat off the Geordies. Happy days. Live in Nottingham, took so much stick off the Forest fans. Hope we got Forest go down. Make my year. Trevor Chavez says, that's the best performance I've seen off the Borough team for a long time. Against a team who are unbeaten in 7. And one of the best defensive sides in the division. We put 4 past them and could have been many more. I agree with that. I says that in the line before the game. 7 games unbeaten they've been. Mark says, did you ever have any pre-match superstitions you felt would bring you good luck, and did any teammates have a strange superstition? Tony Mowbray would never touch the ball in the warm-up. I remember passing the ball to Morgan and he opened his legs and I said, what are you doing? He said, I don't kick the ball before the warm-up. Some guys would have a bath, a hot bath, didn't get that one. Some guys would punch the door. This was sort of a rituals. I think mine was just putting talcum in my shin pads so they smelt nice. I think that was mine, and I had to wear 7. I think there is a lot of people well, I did the podcast with Dimi Constantopoulos. Had a great time at Middlesbrough. People had written him off, and all of a sudden he comes to Middlesbrough, plays every game in the Championship and the promotional season. He used to put, I don't know if it was one glove on before the other, so it had to be the right before the left. He had to have a cross or crucifix and kiss it. One game he went out in the warm-up, forgot he had it on, forgot it. Sorry, just before the game, he forgot it. And he had to run in. Love the Borough. So where are we here? Dave Saunders says, it's not paying player wages, Bernie, it's paying clubs who have loan players. Oh, I know that. No, I know that. I definitely know that. Other debt, nothing to do with players' wages. It's not paying players' wages, Bernie, it's paying clubs. No, I never mentioned that. You're talking about Sheffield United, I take it, yeah. Yeah, I never mentioned that. Somebody mentioned that earlier. I only says that they could lose 12 points. Lovers in the air at Borough. It is that. Hopefully Warner isn't too motivated to stop us at Huddersfield. No. Kieran. As for Kieran J. Campbell. John Tuger says, people forget Carrick is played with the very best under probably the best manager that ever was. That's why he's calm. Well, Fergie was the calm, John. Fergie was a raving lunatic. I know a million stories about Fergie. I couldn't tell you on here because it's from my mates who's played with Man United. He was far from calm. He'd been there. So he is calm. He has been there, done it. Carrick will deliver, given the backing. Well, that's a big thing as well, backing. Sorry getting promotion, but we need the money there. Matt Hopton says, superb performance today up the Borough. Trevor says, did you know, Bernie, when we get relegated from the top flight of Hillsborough, that's right, it was the only time we were in the bottom, only time we were in the bottom 3 all season. After the last game, you were there playing, and so was I. So there you go. That was one of the, so we go to Sheffield Wednesday, play Sheffield Wednesday away. Last game of the season, there was 1 or 2 injuries to key players. That's not an excuse. And I think it was David Hurst scored the goal and we went down last game of the season. How unfortunate is that? Because I remember, I was in the top flight, by the way, because I remember going to West Ham, a few games to go, and we won there and everybody tipped us, they're going to stay up, but we lost the last game. Evening, Bernie, you must have played in some bad weather back in the day. What do you think about the Rotherham-Cardiff game getting abandoned today after 47 minutes due to rain and the Appleyards? Oh, the modern game, they're just spoiled now. The modern games, We were at Mongrose. The guys I played with and the guys I played against were at Mongrose. You just went out there. If you had a wee strain or a wee nick, you would just get through it. Conditions of mud, snow, rain, ice. We just battled on. And I think the modern player are like pedigrees, you know, they have to, everything has to be in sync. Everything has to be 100% correct. And a game abandoned after 47 minutes, wasn't aware of that. Do you think we will go up? Well, Simon, I've mentioned throughout this that my gut is we'll be in the playoffs, and I don't fear anybody. I don't look and think, oh, I hope we don't get them, or I hope we avoid them. Humble Pie Wilder. Class team performance today. Come on, Bernie. Tell us a Fergie story for Thomas Walker. Oh, no, I've got loads of Fergie stories, but people have told me in confidence now. I never repeat. If somebody says, don't repeat that, I won't repeat it. But well, remember Fergie when he kicked the boot? That's well documented. He kicked the boot in rage and it hit Beckham in the eye, and Beckham ended up getting stitches. Imagine doing that now. You'd be up at court. Remember that? Fergie booted the football boot. He kicked it in frustration, and the boot seemingly went up and hit Beckham right in the eye and ended up with stitches. Daniel Ford says, time that fickle fans stay with the team. You mentioned our ups and downs under different management, but enjoy a moment. We have to enjoy a moment, you're right. Carrick is cool, calm, collected up the borough. Anthony McCluskey, Anthony Maltz, Bracey, Ilo and boy, Evening Bernie, cracking result. Who do you prefer, McNair or Fry at the moment? Do you know what? I don't think there's much between them now. I was surprised that Paddy was left out today, but Fry came in and did ever so well. I'm not sitting on the fence, but I think both can do a job. I think Big Paddy's been in the team. Fry's played more regular, but I think Paddy's head is still in the right place to come in and do a job when needed. So I think Fry's number one, Paddy's behind him. What is it like to have my little sister love you, Dorothy Matthews? Or this, what is it like to have my little sister love you? I don't know. Dorothy, I can't even remember. No, it's lovely. Lee Davis says, Steve Whitten scored goal for Sheffield Wednesday, Bernie. No, it wasn't Steve Whitten, it was Hurst, wasn't it? Is it no Big Hurst? I'd argue all day long. I'm trying to think of Big Hurst's first name. Archer played the blinder today, did. Sharp's attack. Dorothy Matthews says, have you already showed my sister's picture? Oh, right, okay, Dorothy Matthews. We've all been good, but he's been unbelievably good. As I say, I met him the other week and I says, I can't believe how good you are and you've been. I never thought he had it in his locker. He's been immense. I just watch him and I think, wow, this is brilliant. I watch the team, the movement, the football, the style, the brand, and it excites me. And I think, how good is this? 10 years, we were looking for a goal scorer. We were paying millions of pounds. Nothing. We paid under 3 for Chuba. First year wasn't his best. Came back. Unbelievably good. Amazing. But a lot of it's down to Carrick. Preston fans were great today. Had a good chat with a few of them. Gentry Day, such a good sentiment. It was up the borough for social Ripper. For it was Stuart Ripper. Ian Plumpton says, good evening, Bernard. Good evening, Ian. I hope Chuba can be persuaded to sign your contract. Well, I think the whole of Teesside is hoping that. But Chuba will be attracting big attention for big clubs. It's if we want the money or we want to keep the striker. Maybe the clubs, I'm sure the clubs talk behind the scene. I'm always speculating. I would think they'd have to be off the rockers if they're not talking at the minute about a contract, but don't say it publicly. I'm only guessing, surmising. But I would be talking about a new contract. But if we didn't make it in the top flight, where we're a selling club, we'd have to be realistic and think we could cash in Chuba. I hope he stays. As I say, he's been so good. And he loves it. This is his first real where he's played every game. He mentions that he's cell in that interview I did. He mentioned his cell, you know, he's been disrupted, not played every game. He's just oozing class and he's loving every minute. Hi, it's Solly. You met me at the Legends Lounge today. Hi, Ollie boy. Are you alright, Ollie? Haaland 3-0. Another hat-trick. That's 6 this season. Incredible, isn't it? I mean, I'm not a Man City fan. Rambo Slices, 30 million, I take it for Chuba. Hey, 30 million would be wow. Haaland, another 3 today. I was disappointed that, was it a record for Europe where he scored 5? I was disappointed to get taken off. I'm not a Man City fan, by the way. But it'd be nice for Haaland to get 2 hat-tricks, wouldn't it? Defo Steve Whittenberg. Okay, thanks for that, Craig. The Midster time, yeah, I forgot. As I say, I wasn't really interested. I was peeved off that day, as was the lads. You can imagine the bus trip back after relegation at Sheffield that day. Where's all these fans come from? 28,500 a day. I love the Riverside full, like back in the old days. But Bandwagon, jumpers spring to mind, and they'll be the first in the queue for Wembley tickets. I agree with that as well. They'll come out the woodwork, but I have to say some of them probably can't afford to go every game. I think that's a reasonable excuse. But there is some, and no doubtly there's some that jumps in the bandwagon. And then when the tickets for Wembley come, the rich out there go and buy them and pay for them, pay over the odds and get there before you who go to every Borough game. And that pisses me off as a former player and a fan. You know what I mean? Sometimes I look to maybe go to Glasgow and go to a game and I think, do you know what? Do I deserve a ticket? These fans are going on the time and I'm going to go and just get one. So, yeah. Definitely Fry in front of Paddy. Best football I've seen. Play for years. This is come on, Borough. Keep the pressure on. Sheffield United rather than be chasing and defend that position. Dean Wilson. There was one for there I just tried to catch. Hold on a wee minute. Do you ever do sponsored walks or things like that as well on the night for Gary Pattinson? For Matt, yeah. Hi Bernie, do you worry if we don't go up the players we will lose? Could be half the squad, and well, we'll lose half because a lot of them's on loan. Tough rebuild for Carrick if he's still there. Well, don't worry about it, but it is a concern. Do you ever sponsored walks? Yeah, listen, there's guys done sponsored walks before, and cyclists. Oh, this is a way again. This YouTube's driving me crackers. Can't get it. YouTube's gone to pot. I can only apologise if you're watching both. Yeah, so people have did walks and charity events, cycling. I remember the last party do I did in the Beechwood and Easterside. I think the lads raised a couple of grand for parky. So yeah, we do. And if you're going to do one, there isn't he? Battered 4 now, Leslie said battered 4. Was Dalian Atkinson RIP the Villa during Zenith data run? Dalian Atkinson, God rest him. Dalian was powerful, fast as a whippet. And my biggest memory about Dalian Atkinson. Now, Bernie, when you use your live on Westbourne Road, back in the day, my mate up the Borough. I used to live in Westbourne Road, that's in the heart of the Middlesbrough. Yeah, I did. Dalian Atkinson, the first time that he came to prominence, I remember Dalian Atkinson. He did play with the Villa, but my first game, or one of the prominent times that I seen Dalian Atkinson, we played Borough Ipswich down at Portman Road. Sir Bobby Robson, God rest him, he was the England manager and he was watching Pallister. And Dalian Atkinson ripped Pally's underpants off. There was holes everywhere. He scored a hat-trick. And Sir Bobby, despite being a Geordie, picked him for England. Back in the late 80s, when we used to get 33,000 in Essen Park, the taxman thought we had 18,000. Laugh out loud. Bernie chats in the old Fina petrol station at Acklam. John Brecken. Now, John, yeah, if you're thinking where's Westbourne Road, not that you want to know, but I'm going to tell you, it's just off of Winniebanks. I lived in a terraced house there. It cost me 25 grand. 25 grand. The players park their bikes in 25 grand garages these days. But I loved it. That was a good introduction to Middlesbrough. I used to sleep in the front room. It was 2-bedroom. I say 25 grand. And on the Friday night, there would be Borough fans who got to know where I lived, going to, say, the Linthorpe pub, singing, Bernie Slavin, and all cheering. And I'd been in bed in the front room trying to get prepared for the Saturday, and I thought, oh dear, hiding under the covers. And then the next day, if we would get beaten, I was crap, they'd shout, Slavin, you crap. I used to get abuse, so imagine the modern players going through that. Good days, mate. Remember your dog? Yeah, that's right. My dog, I deny he's set there, I've got 2 now. Carrick mentioned in his media interview that Borough have things in place for Championship football and Premier League. It's good to cover both. I think that's bright. Thing is, if we get promoted, our loanees have to get back to the parent club. That's a definite. Double-edged sword. Have to be realistic. Daniel, I totally agree with that. Winniebanks, that's a rough old area, mate. It was. But nice people. Well, some of them. David Hale says, Fry at the back is quality. I may miss him when he isn't playing. Yeah, he's getting the... My pops used to do a squeeze for a free match. Yeah, a squeeze. In Glasgow, you called it a lifty. So in England, by all accounts, if you're a kid, you would ask if your dad wasn't at the game, he was working or whatever, you would ask somebody else, going to give you a squeeze and they would get you in. They called it a lifty in Glasgow. So if my dad didn't make because he was working, I would say, oh, Mike, you're going to give you a lifty, and he used to lift you over. As I got older, I used to look at some of the overweight kids and think, I can't have got a bad back. Oh no, you're not allowed to say overweight or fat. What are you allowed to say now? Enormous. That's enormous. Jonathan Mike says, some rumours in the press around that Sheffield United may have broken FFP and are sweating. Any thoughts? I mentioned it earlier, Jonathan. They're talking about somebody's not been paid. There's chaos. There's turmoil. They're talking about they could get deducted 12 points, which would be great for us. But I really don't want to get promoted in that manner. I'd rather do it with our merit, on merit, with what we do. How many goals would you get if you were prime playing now, brother? I'd get a few. Oh, I'd get a few in this team. I'd love to play in this team. That's the one team there's a lot of the other teams that I mentioned in the past. Wilder, Warnock, Pulis, Karanka. I'd rather retire than play under any of them. Wouldn't have suited me one iota. Wouldn't have enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy watching it, so I wouldn't have enjoyed playing it. And I look now and I think, oh, I'd like to play in this team. This is a good team. Good to watch. Back in the day, it was good area, good people, my mate. I did get a squeeze. First person, see a goal. And never forget it. That's for John. Graham Jones says, do you think Carrick would be a mug to lead Borough while he's doing so good and learning his trade? I think so, because he's playing his trade. He's a novice. He's still inexperienced. Yeah, he's been at Man United, worked under the best Sir Alec. He's worked under a wee bit of Mourinho, a wee bit of this yin. But this is on his own now. Well, he's got Woody in that, but he's the forefront now. He's carrying the can now. He had 2 games at Man United, but 2 games is nothing, neither here nor there. But he's doing brilliant. Johnny House in top glass. Man of the match for John Sweno. Where are we here? Bernie, you were class on the field and them days off the park on Westbourne Field. Thank you very much. A lot of Westbourne Road. It's good, isn't it? Westbourne Road, a Westbourne Field, small field it was. Used to love our chats, and especially when Hatch was up visiting. Yeah, my father was nicknamed Hatchet. He didn't carry a hatchet. I don't know how he get the name, but Christopher Abel says the Borough are playing the best football in the Championship. If only Michael joined us a few weeks ago. Michael Carrick, yeah. Bonsoir from France. Wow, that's nice, isn't it? Bonsoir. Lovely part of the world, France. Great result, Bernie. Jeff the Cup. How you doing, Jeff? It was a great result. 10 minutes. Martin Smith says Middlesbrough, Phil Thomas scored boxing show on at the Beechwood Easter side Wednesday, 29th of March. Support, where is it? Support your local area. Yes, I'm getting a wee plug. Phil Thomas scored boxing show. Beechwood Easter. I've been invited to go to some boxing. Can't think what it is, but I'm going. I'll plug it. Who's the man of match? John, I honestly, I thought everybody was man of match. I thought it was terrific. Movement, passing. We were telepathic. We were creative. We scored goals, kept clean sheet. Everybody did the business today. Dave Son says 5-0 Man City, Burnley meltdown, laugh out loud. No. Well, that's the golf, isn't it? We seen it when we played Brighton. Brighton tore us to shreds. Scored 5, could have scored 10. That's the golf. I heard some lads running about me chatting about who would make the transition for this to the Premier. We don't know. You can only surmise and guess. But it's a struggle for a lot of players to make that step upwards. Because when you got there, they're faster, they're better defenders, they're better strikers. If Akpom played in the Man City side, he would score more than Haaland. Maybe Man City will offer 100 million this summer, laugh out loud. No, I know what you're saying. I know it's tongue-in-cheek. What Haaland's just unbelievable. People say he only gets 5 touches. So what? 5 touches, 5 goals. Who gives a flying? If you ask me, do I want to have a great game? I asked Chuba, would you rather have a great game or score the winner? Or score a goal? You want to score the goal. And when you finish playing, it's not how many good games you played and how many miles you ran and how many tackles you ran and how many headers. They only count your goals. Keepers keep clean sheets. Strikers count goals. Nobody remembers how many miles you ran. Watching you and watching Man City torture Burnley. If it was boxing match, the ref would stop at Ian Plumpton. As I say, that's the golf. So Man City's beating Burnley, who's top of our League 6, and we get beat 5 with Brighton Hove Albion. At our place, who were amazing on the day. 6-0. 6-0. Going to be close for second place at the end of the season. Is that Paul Gamble? Simon's reminded us at 6-0. Paul Kelly says, hate Sheffield United with a passion. After other season outside Riverside, when one of the supporters spat on a kiddie with a Borough scarf on. Proper, hope they go into administration. Don't like the cocky manager either. I hope the result has put Burnley off track. I don't think it would have, to be fair. It didn't put us off track, did it? We get battered with, as I mentioned, Brighton Hove Albion. Didn't stop us our progress. As I say, I always think the cup's no better than the league. I've always says that. People are kidded. Oh, I've knocked out the cup, concentrate in the league and vice versa. I don't buy into that. Gary McGlone says, hi Bernie, hope your family well. Hope you and your family well. Thank you. We were great today. We were really wouldn't be worried about playing anyone at the moment. And I agree with that. Do you think we'll got Bernie, mate? For John Swano. As I mentioned earlier, I think we'll be in the playoff spot. Top 2 is still a realistic target, but my gut is we'll miss out on that and we'll be in the top 6 in playoffs. If Borough get promoted, who do you bring in? Stefan. Who do we bring in? Player-wise, you can only surmise, but I would think, first of all, we have to know what money's available. Does it really matter, in your opinion, if a player does nothing but score goals to win matches? No. I used to make me laugh. Fans early years ago, he did nothing, he only scored a goal. Whoa, is that not why you play football? Is that not why they erect the goals every game and put the net on and cut on inside the box nice? Is that no... That's what the game's about, scoring goals. That's why you play football. Outstanding performance, up front we were class, lots of points to play for. There'll be a few surprises. We just need to keep this quality going. Right, I forgot all about these things. And don't forget Gary Parkinson night. There's still a few, well, there is tickets left for the balconies only. All the floors gone. All the tables have gone. 24th of March, so it's next Friday at the Town Hall. Bruce Rare's going to be there. Tony Mowbray, Gary Pallister, Colin Cooper, Packy Self, Archie Stevens. Yeah, Gary Hamilton flying in for America. If he can make the effort, surely you can if you've got the money. And loads others. And there'll be a comedian, there'll be a singer, there'll be a host, and we'll show clips of the 86 on the big screen. So it'll be a great night. It'll be an emotional, euphoric night. And yeah, and we hope to raise as much as we can for Gary Pattinson, who is our former teammate who we love. And we want to raise as much as we can for his 24-hour care. What has happened to Muniz? Well, Muniz came on the day, didn't he? Did he come on the day? No, it was Mo, wasn't it? No, Muniz, he's not featured since December, Muniz. 16 appearances. He's a striker. If you don't, he signs them and then I'll get them framed and then we'll be selling them on the night. I won't be able to come up because of what this is for Stephen Horn. Will there be a DVD for sale afterwards? They might earn a few more quid for Parky. Well, no, there's not going to be. Don't you just love Chuba not getting caught offside, Bernie? Is that a dig at me? Oh, Borough fan, you're offending me. Chuba doesn't get caught offside. Do you know why Chuba doesn't get caught offside? Because he's more intelligent than me. Because he's got pace. He's fast. You watch Chuba. He goes behind the defenders, offside. Then when the balls get moved, he comes back onside and then he darts. And that's why he doesn't go offside. He's got pace. He doesn't need to live on the line. I did. Bernie, does your son play football? Will he play for the Borough? Stefan? No, my boys have retired, man. I think we've got that with Hackney right now, Stefan, but there's some good players that could come through too. I agree with that. I'll read these and then I think that's it. Robbie Very says, great game today, Bernie. The team are playing with so much energy, winning the second half, relentless up front, up the Borough. Totally agree. So where are we now? Carrick is done yet. Colin Burnley, yeah. Jamie, Chuba scored 24, well, it's 25 now, isn't it, in the league. Oh, no competitions. What is your best season, Burnley, in a Borough shirt? Well, it was 8-9 season, was 21 league goals and 32 overall, including cup goals. So my best season in a Middlesbrough shirt was 32, but my career's over. Concentrating the modern game. Lee says, Burnley, great to see Chuba being the Championship's top scorer. Well, before today, 23. Now he's got 24. Yeah, there's a lad for Coventry. He's got, I think it's 18 he's got, and Burnley strikers get 17. So Chuba's still way out in front with 24 now. Frank says, Carrick's been linked with Palace and West Ham. Concerning, well, I gave my opinion on that. Why has Chuba Akpom not been capped by his country? Well, he played for England at youth level. And when I chatted to him, he says that he was... He'd thrown his allegiance to Nigeria, but seemingly by all accounts they've got a few good strikers, but it must be really good if Chuba can't get in. He declared that and I think it was 2017 or 2023 and he's still not got a cap. Surely a cap must come with the way he's played this season. Carol says, hi Bernie, love your chat view lined up. I've got them for after the party do, but talk more about Parky. I wonder if Borough will get a Ravenelli when we get in the Premier. Who knows? Thank you very much for joining us.